Hello, Alessandrina here, and today I wanted to talk about different methodologies that you can use and apply for healing, for transformation, and for essentially releasing the past, releasing things that you might still be carrying. So, in your process of evaluating the tools, the methods, and the practices that are best suited for you, one thing that is important is for you to have your own process of assessing how you feel when using the method. So now it's not to say that resistance is not going to come up when we use these tools and to then discard the method because we feel the resistance in our system. What I'm right now essentially offering is for you to have your own process of feeling out for yourself the tools, the practices, the techniques that you're using, and how much benefit, how much relief you get from them. So, as you know, on our channel, we offer many different methodologies, and we do have some that personally we feel are very helpful and effective. And ultimately, we feel that what's most optimal is that you explore for yourself what works for you. And the reason for that is that the method is just a support mechanism. What it does is it's not an end-all be-all. The method is just there to help you change your energy state, to shift your energy, to transmute the energy that you're in into a different state of energy. So to go from one emotional state or one state of thinking to another emotional state, another state of thinking. And so the method is in itself, that's all it does. It's not like what matters most. What matters most is that when you're applying the method, that it's actually helping you to clear the resistance to being in the energy state that you're in and shifting into a new energy state. So sometimes if we feel angry or frustrated or sad or depressed or any emotion that we may have, there can be a part of us that feels like it's safe to feel that way, and that it's not okay to feel another way. It's unsafe to feel a different way. So that's the resistance. The resistance is saying like that state of emotion is helping me in some way. Whether it's like we feel more in control if we get angry, or if we feel sad, for instance, and we are in a state of victimhood, we might have been conditioned into feeling that feeling victimhood is a better way than not having any way to control ourselves or others or what happens in our life. So we can feel like victimhood can be a path to being in control, even if it's not. So in your process of evaluating the different methodologies or practices that you're going to apply to shifting your energy, if you can evaluate, for instance, if you're saying, okay, in those situations I feel angry, so I'm going to work proactively. So that's another step, by the way. When you're applying a method, it always works best when you're doing it preventatively, proactively, when not in the moment when it's happening. Not to say that in the moment when it's happening, it's not also really good to apply a process so that you can shift your energy. That said, usually when you're triggered, it's more difficult to apply the process and to be as conscious as is optimal to apply the process. So it's always good to kind of like have a map of the things that you get triggered into, and then to revisit those things when you're not triggered, so that you know, okay, well, in all those different situations I tend to get triggered. I'm going to work proactively, preemptively, before it happens, on these things, on clearing them, transmuting the energy, so that then you're starting to shift your subconscious, so that then when the trigger happens, there's going to be very little emotional charge, or no emotional charge if you've completely released it. So when you're doing your evaluation, you preemptively or proactively, you would assess on a scale of 1 to 10 how triggered you are, how much of that negative emotion you're feeling, how uncomfortable you feel. And once you've done that and you have an assessment, let's say you're a 10 or a 9 or an 8, however triggered you are, after applying the method, seeing where you're at, right? Being able to assess, am I a 1, a 2, a 3? Usually if you're 3 and under, it means that the method is working for you. Now, sometimes if we've had something that has been a trigger for a long time, we can have accumulated a lot of pain around it. And therefore, it could take more time, more sittings to get to a 3. So just applying flexibility in your process of assessment, realizing that with things that are very deeply rooted, that have a lot of pain associated with it, it might take more time. And it might mean more sittings, meaning more practices of the technique or the methodology or the tool that you're applying in that moment, until you get to a point where there's a more comprehensive resolution of the trigger, of the pattern, or whatever it is that you're working through. So I thought this conversation and giving you those insights might be very helpful in your process of release, in your process of transmutation. The transmutation tool is just a support mechanism. It's helping you to shift from one energy to another. And of course, if there's resistance and you're staying in the same state of energy, it doesn't matter what tool you apply, because if you're stuck in the energy, then the tool is not going to necessarily take you to a different state of energy. So that's also another reflection and another something else to really explore and see the tools that help you work through the resistance, and also times where you're just like resisting so much, and then applying a tool to that, by the way. So there are methods to clear resistance in our system. And when you use those tools to clear the resistance in your system, then it becomes easier to work through things, so that the tool that you're applying to the pattern or the trigger that you're working with, it's actually going to work. If you're staying in the same energy state because you're resisting and applying a tool, then it's unlikely that you're going to feel much different at the end of applying the tool because of the resistance. So all of that together, working on implementing those different dimensions of transmutation and of healing can be very helpful. I hope this helps you, and that you find the method, the tool, the practice that works for you, that helps you to shift your energy in a way that is going to empower you, and that is going to bring you more peace and more joy, more equanimity, and more feelings of love and well-being in your life. Much love.